stop, I'll keep my head up. No, I'm not here to stay. There's gonna be brighter days. There's gonna be brighter days. I just might bend, but I won't break. As long as I can see your face. When life won't play along and right keeps going wrong and I can't seem to find my way. I know where I am found, so I won't let it drag me down. No, I'll keep dancing anyway. I'm gonna move, move. I'm gonna move, move. I'm gonna move, I'm gonna move. I've got to hold it steady, keep my head in the game. Everything is about to change. Everything is about to change. This hurt is getting heavy, but I'm not about to cave. Everything is about to change. It's gonna be brighter days. Just might bend, but I won't break. As I can see your face. When life won't play along and right keeps going wrong, and I can't seem to find my way. Know where I am found, so I won't let it drag me down. No, I'll keep dancing anyway. I'm gonna move. I just might bend, but I won't break. As long as I can see your face. When life won't play along and right keeps going wrong and I can't seem to find my way. I know where I am found, so I won't let it drag me down. No, I'll keep dancing anyway. When life won't play along and right keeps going wrong and I can't seem to find my way. I know where I am found, so I won't let it drag me down. No, I'll keep dancing anyway.
Hi Waymakers, it's time for our Fast 5.
Hi, Miss Carolyn.
Hi Wendy, you got here just in time for our Fast 5.
Oh, that is great. I will listen while you tell them.
Okay, well then I'll get started. Did you know that our human muscles are divided into 3 groups? We have smooth, cardiac, and skeletal. And also, we have around 650 muscles in our body.
Wow, that is a lot of muscles. Do I have muscles?
I don't think robots have muscles, Wendy. And did you know that the largest muscle in our body is our gluteus maximus?
I know where that one is.
That's right, Wendy. The hardest working muscle in our bodies is the heart. Our last Fast 5 fact, it takes less muscles to make a smile than to frown. So keep smiling.
Get in the game.
Until your heart stops kick drum beating. When it's hard times, when it's long days, and the enemy is right up in your face. When you're back against the ropes,
Oh,
feeling all alone.
get in the game. Oh. Get in the game.
Okay, kids, this week on Get in the Game, we are going to be doing some exercises, but at the same time, we're going to be playing a game. And here's how the game works. I'm going to say what exercise we're going to do, but wherever you're at, if there's anybody else in the room, you guys are watching together, or if you're by yourself, you guys are going to be timed, and we're going to see how many of these exercises you can do within that amount of time. So Carolyn here, Miss Carolyn, is going to be my timer, and she's also going to count how many exercises I do. So thank you, Miss Carolyn, for doing that. So our first exercise is going to be what they call jumping jacks. Do you guys know what jumping jacks are? Well, if you don't, the way it works is you start like this, and you start like this, and you go up, and you clap your hands to the top, and you spread your legs out wide as you can, and then back, and that's one. So you have to do this. That's a jumping jack. Okay, so we're gonna give you 15 seconds. I'm gonna do it too. 15 seconds, and you need to count how many jumping jacks you can do in that 15 seconds. And if you're with a friend, you have to do more than your friend, and then you win that game. And then we'll do another exercise. Okay, are you ready? All right, Miss Carolyn. Okay, on your mark, get set, go. 4, 6, out loud. 8,
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Oh, woo, that's tiring. Pretty sure I had a couple in there that you didn't count. But I think the total number was how many?
16?
16. I think it was about 45, really. About how many I felt like I did. Okay, good job, guys. So did you win? Did you beat 16? Did you beat the person next to you? Either way, good job. Okay, so for the next exercise, what we're going to do is called lunges. And these you don't have to walk across back and forth. All we're gonna do is you're gonna stand next to your partner. Like if Miss Carolyn was my partner, she would stand side by side. And you're gonna do a lunge. You're gonna go as far out as you can and back up, and that's one. And then you can switch with your other foot, go all the way out and back, and that's 2. So, you ready? This time we're only gonna do, how many seconds should we do? Let's do 10 seconds this time, a little bit less time, okay? Are you ready? On your mark, get set, go.
6.
Oh, 6. My legs feel like little noodles. I'm gonna do the noodle dance. Okay, this is our last exercise. This time, these are a little bit harder. You might be able to do them, you might not. But if you can't, it's okay, because there's an easier way of doing it. They're called push-ups. If you haven't heard of push-ups, this is what you're gonna do. Okay, so if they're a little bit harder for you to do, you can start on your knees, and you put your hands down, and what you do is you go all the way to the ground and back up, okay? I'm gonna do them like this and back up, and that's 1. Now these hurt my arms and my back and everything really bad, so I think we should do 5 seconds. Let's see who can do the most push-ups in 5 seconds. If you can get 2, that would be great. If you're doing 2 in 5 seconds, you're doing good. Okay, you ready? Mm-hmm. On your mark, get set, go. Ooh. Oh.
8?
8 push-ups in 5 seconds. That's pretty good. Man, I'm beat. Oh. But you know what? Finding the strength to get through things or to build up the muscle so that we have the ability to take on things that life throws us is super important, because we need strength. And sometimes strength isn't measured by how big your muscles are or how big or how much exercise you've done and how good your body feels. Sometimes it's not a physical strength. Sometimes strength is found in the Lord. It says in Philippians 4:13, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And that is one of the most famous verses in the whole Bible. But if there's anything that ever happens in your life where you feel like you just can't get through it, if something bad happens or something around, remember that you can do all things through Christ who gives you the strength to do it. Because if you don't have Christ to help you get through some of those things, it's going to be a lot harder. So I hope you guys had fun with this week's Get Into the Game.
Hi, Waymakers. Today, for our club meeting, we are going to learn about Samson. Last week, we learned about the wisest man on earth, King Solomon. Today, we're going to learn about Samson, one of the strongest men on earth.
That's so cool.
So we're going to read a short example of Samson's strength, and then we'll go on to his purpose or his story. So it says in Judges 14, verses 5 and 6, that Samson went down to Timnah. His father and mother went with him. They approached the vineyards of Timnah. Suddenly, a young lion came roaring towards Samson. Then the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully on Samson. So he tore the lion apart with his bare hands. He did it as easily as he might have torn apart a young goat. That is very strong.
Wow, Samson is so strong. I can't wait to hear more of the story.
So now we're going to read a story about Samson out of Judges 16, verses 23 through 31. It says, the rulers of the Philistines gathered together. They were going to offer a great sacrifice to their god Dagon. They were going to celebrate. They said, our God has handed our enemy Samson over to us. When the people saw Samson, they praised their God. They said, our God has handed our enemy over to us. Our enemy has destroyed our land. He has killed large numbers of our people. After they had drunk a lot of wine, they shouted, bring Samson out. Let him put on a show for us. So they called Samson out of the prison. He put on a show for them. They had him stand near the temple pillars. Then he spoke to the servant who was holding his hand. He said, put me where I can feel the pillars. I'm talking about the ones that hold up the temple. I want to lean against them. The temple was crowded with men and women. All the Philistine rulers were there. About 3,000 men and women were on the roof. They were watching Samson put on a show. Then he prayed to the Lord. Samson said, Lord and King, show me that you still have concern for me. Please, God, make me strong just one more time. Let me pay the Philistines back for what they did to my 2 eyes. Let me do it with only one blow. Then Samson reached toward the 2 pillars that were in the middle of the temple. They were the ones that held up the temple. He put his right hand on one of them, and he put his left hand on the other. He leaned hard against them. Samson said, let me die together with the Philistines. Then he pushed with all his might. The temple came down on the rulers. It fell on all the people in it. So Samson killed many more Philistines when he died than when he did while he lived. Then his brothers went down to get him. So did his father's whole family. All of them brought Samson back home. They buried him in the tomb of his father Manoah. It's between Zorah and Eshtaol. Samson had led Israel for 20 years.
Wow.
Okay, so I have some questions for you, and I want to give you my answer, but I also want to hear what your best answer would be. So, who did God use in this story? That's right, he used Samson. And how did God use Samson to accomplish his plan? Plan meaning his purpose. What did he want him to do for him? That's kind of a tougher question. Okay, well it says, God used Samson to defeat the Philistines. The Israelites enemies. Samson might seem like an unlikely person for God to use. He was prideful, he had a bad temper, and he disobeyed God. Who doesn't disobey sometimes? Or have a bad temper? I know I do sometimes. So we are all the same in that way. But God still used him, and ultimately Samson brought God glory. Samson gave his life so that he could defeat the Philistines and the Israelites could be freed. In some ways, Samson's story reminds us of Jesus. Jesus also died in order to save others. So, did Jesus die to save us from the Philistines? Or people like the Philistines, our enemies? No. And what did he save us from? Our sin. You're right. So, Jesus gave his very life so that our sin could be forgiven and that we could have eternal life with God. And Samson's story reminds us that only God is able to save us from our biggest enemy, sin. Samson was strong, but God is always stronger.
Sorry, Carolyn. I'm a little sore. Did some major working out earlier. But I'm ready to play some music. What are we singing today?
Mighty is our God.
Oh,
So-
yes, he is. Okay, let's see if I can do this one now. Okay.
Mighty is our God. Mighty is our King. Mighty is our Lord. Ruler of everything. Glory to our God. Glory to our King. Glory to our Lord. Ruler of everything. His name is higher, higher than any other name. His power is greater, for he has created everything. Mighty is our God, mighty is our King, mighty is our Lord, ruler of everything. Ruler of everything, ruler of everything. Woo! Good job.
Sorry, did I pick you? Okay. Cool.
All right.
All right, cool. All right, I gotta get
Come
on getting
again.
before the getting's gone.
All right.
I will.
Go rest up. Hey, oh, hey, oh. Hi, Waymakers. Today for our life skill, we are going to learn how to have proper nutrition, because what goes with building muscle, making sure that we're eating the right, healthy food for our bodies to digest, to help us build energy and to form our muscles and to be mean, lean fighting machines. So, we're going to discuss the 5 categories of food that are found on the food pyramid, which you may have seen at school or just anywhere you go, that teaches us what we need to have a good balance of in our meals. So, the first category is grains. Now, grains are very healthy for you, but you need to make sure that you have good portion control with grains. The second category is fruits. Fruits are also extremely healthy for you. However, there is a lot of sugar in fruits, so it's a healthy sugar. It's healthier than the processed sugar that you find in candy or in desserts, but there is still a lot of sugar, so make sure you have a good portion, just the right amount of fruit as well. Also, the third category is veggies or vegetables, and I love vegetables, all types of vegetables. Those are extremely healthy for you and very low in calories, which means you could just eat a lot of vegetables, but anything too much of or too little of is not good for your diet. So you need to have a good balance still. The fourth category is dairy. Some people have health problems with lactose in dairy, so like cheese and milk and yogurt. So they have to limit that. However, dairy is very good for your bones and just for your health in general. So as long as you, again, keep it under good portion control, that is a good thing to have in your diet. The last category is protein. Now, if you're a vegetarian and you don't eat a lot of meat, then you can find protein in lentils, in beans. Those are all good things to eat to keep in your diet so that you're getting the correct proteins that you need for your body. There are a lot of great meats as well, so if you eat all food, make sure you have good meat in your diet. But if you eat too much of one type of meat, you're missing out on another type, which you still got to control. And if you have heart problems, then you shouldn't be eating too much red meat, so you stick to the chicken and fish. But if you're just a normal, healthy body, all of those types of meats or proteins are good for you to have, again, in the correct portion. So keep that in mind, especially if you are working out or if you're running a lot or you're playing a lot or you're trying to get fit and healthy and strong for your competition or for your team. Having a proper balanced diet is the way to go. So that's our life skills for today. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you learned a lot today. Chugga, 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 choo choo. Okay, guys, get ready for our locomotion time. Stand up and get those hands moving. We are going to learn an easier verse this week, and it's one of my favorites. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Okay, get those hands ready. Here we go. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Okay, let's do it again. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. One more time. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. All right, guys. Good luck with that one.
I don't know about you guys, but that was a workout.
Oh yeah.
My favorite part was, I think, probably the stretchy band. That was my favorite. But it was a pretty good video. I found that. I feel like I am stronger now. So we need to do that more.
Hopefully next week I'll feel stronger.
Yeah. While we wait. No pain, no gain. Mr. Stache, wake up.
Oh. I feel you.
Yeah, I'm a little tired too. That reminds me of a verse. Yeah, we'll wait upon the Lord and He will renew our strength. Well, I'm ready to do some waiting because that involves not doing anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Me too. I can go to sleep right now.
Do it. Wake up.